Hello and welcome back to Baking with Ginny and Joe. I'm Ginny and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this rolled buttercream. So we do ours slightly different. We're going to use the Connors method for this when it comes to buttercream, which I'm hoping will make it a little bit easier for you. So I've got all the measurements and I'm going to write them around the screen as I use them. But I'm going to put my butter in. That's going into the microwave. Now we're not melting it, we're only taking it to Connors buttercream stage. So we are going to put this in for 15 seconds. Okay, that's 15 seconds there. And as you can see, it's melting nicely. It's still very creamy, which is what we want, but it has changed that form. Maximum we can go with this temperature is 30 degrees. So my temperature there is 26. So I can go that little bit higher. Now, even though I can go that little bit higher, I also want to heat some of this here. The reason that I'm going to heat this is because it'll incorporate a lot easier. Most of the recipes do say to use corn syrup for this. I'm in Ireland, Joe's in England, we don't have easy access to that. So I have used here liquid glucose. There is a gorgeous buttery flavour from the golden syrup which works amazingly with this butter. So I do want to put it in there because just the taste is even nicer, and we just want to take this that little level up. So this into the microwave. Again, I'm going with 15 seconds. Okay, so straight away you can see there, it's a lot looser. Let's take the temperature of this. Okay, so this is at 37 just there, so that's why I haven't melted this anymore, because I have to be very, very conscious that if I put this onto here, it's going to take that way over the 30, that butter's going to split, and we're not going to be in the Connors form any longer. So I'm going to give this a stir and get that temperature to at least come down to 32, because I know that I've got a few degrees on this butter, so bear with me. So whilst I'm stirring this, I've got glass bowls here because it's easier for the cameras to pick up and for you to see. When you do use a glass bowl, it retains the heat, so you're fighting all the time, and it can also continue to heat through the bowl into your ingredient. So I would recommend plastic. Okay, I'm at 33 on that one, and I'm at 25 on that. So combining those two together, I think this is going to be absolutely fine. So I am now going to move this in. Okay, we're going to give this a stir and just allow that to completely incorporate through. Let's take that temperature and just make sure that we're safe, and we're still at 28. So we know we're absolutely fine there. Right, now we need to start adding in some icing sugar. We're going to do this as if we were making Connors buttercream. We are just going to mix. Everything's loose, so it's easy. So you can just see that we're not using a mixer for this. It's not going to be as difficult as you think. Okay, so that's incorporating really nicely just there. We are going to be turning this out. I'm not really fussy about how incorporated it is. Now there's a couple of other ingredients I do want to put into this. I am going to add in my vanilla, and then I'm also going to add in some glycerin. Now glycerin you normally add into fondant. It allows that kind of more stretchy kind of texture to things. So we are going to add some of that in. Right, in with my vanilla and then my glycerin, and I'm just going to start going in there with my hands because it's so much easier. Okay, I'm just going to stir that around, just using my hand there, just to whiz all that around there like that. Okay, and then we can begin adding the other part. As soon as it gets dry enough, we're going to tip it out onto the desk. If you wanted to colour it, now is when you can pop in your colour. I'm going to tip this out now. And it is combining really nicely. There's not a lot of effort going into this. Now obviously this is quite a large batch I'm doing. I am going to be showing you how to do a cake in another video, how to use this on a cake. So I've done a bit, look at that, oh it's like sand everywhere. I have done quite a bit just so that I've got enough. So continue to roll this in. And what you want to do is just keep adding until it doesn't want to take any more. So think of it as like a thirsty plant. When it's thirsty, it just keeps taking in the water until it doesn't. So this is what we're doing here. And if I've got that completely wrong, I don't want regular plants. In fact, no, they always die on me, so maybe that's not the best of things to say. Okay, keep going. You could add any flavourings with this and colours. It's really good for most things, and there's not that much effort here. This is easier to roll than fondant. Hate rolling fondant, just not strong enough. Okay, so it has got that yellowy colour to it. Now there's a couple of reasons for that. One, we've added some golden syrup. because it's got that beautiful flavour. And then also, we haven't whipped and whipped and whipped our butter because we're making it easier and we're doing it Connor's way. And the more you knead it, it's just going to come down in colour because the reduction of colour is just air. So here we go. So already, in the time it takes to whip up the butter, we're nearly done here by doing it Connor's way. Now, even though I have put all this ice and sugar on there, if I don't need it all, it just won't take it and I'll be able to put it to one side. But at the moment, it's still drinking. You really see it starting to come together, see? Because we do melt some of that butter as well. Some of the grittiness of this buttercream will have reduced quite a lot because the kind of heat and the wet of the butter will start dissolving that icing sugar, which is great, because that's always a massive complaint with icing sugar, is that grittiness. Right, mine has taken all of that in. Right, so how are we going to counteract the colour? Okay, so I have some of our colourings here. So I'm going to take a piece of this away for a comparison. So we've got our purple violets on this one. Give it a good shake, because it's a new one, I've just opened it. Okay. And this is in our candy colour range. So I've got something here, so I've just got one of those cake pop sticks, but you could use a cocktail stick, touch the top like this. There. We're going to put some in there and a little bit more. And we're going to see how we go with that amount. If you can add more, but once it's in there, you can't really take it away and you will start looking like you put all your underwear in with a whitewash. Or your dark underwear. And you'll get that horrible kind of colour run colour. Now, if you do get that stage, if you add a little bit of yellow, you'll balance it back again the other way, but it's just easier not to have too much. If it gets too wet at any point, just add a bit more ice and sugar. Now I'm going to put on my white, which this is White Wedding. This is from our Intense range. Put a swirl of that on, and again. There we go. And that's already starting to come right down there. And there we go. We've made quite a difference between those two just there. So now we've just worked that butter quite a lot. So I am actually going to put mine into the fridge right now, just because it probably needs just to rest for 10 minutes or so while I tidy everything down. So look, that is our rolled buttercream just there. So I popped the buttercream straight into the fridge there, and I left it there for actually about an hour because I was busy doing other things, and then I coloured it and I have made this cake out of it, and I will say it looks absolutely lovely. We've got those sharp edges, it's to touch it, it's fine. So you've got that consistency of the crusting with the buttercream that you normally get. So easy with the Connor's way. If you want to see how I made this, then have a little look on our channel and you'll see how I turned the buttercream into this. So I hope you really enjoyed this Rolls Buttercream recipe. Any questions, just give me a shout, and thank you so much for watching today. I will see you really soon. You take care. Bye bye.